Today's top 5, my top games of 2017.
Oh, it's Friday night. Don't know what I'm gonna do tonight. I could sit here and pick my nose while I watch a brand new video. Whoa, Top 5 Friday. Top 5 Friday.
Five.
Injustice 2. For those of you who don't know, Injustice 2 is a fighting game starring DC characters. So Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Joker, Harley Quinn, people like that. Playing the second one, I did not play the first one. It actually makes me wish I had played the first one. Injustice 2, the mechanics of the game are just amazing. Honestly, it's a lot like Mortal Kombat. If you like Mortal Kombat, I think you'll really enjoy Injustice 2. For me, Injustice 2 plays a little bit better than Mortal Kombat. I think the combos are a little bit easier to pull off. It's actually a really good fighter. It's fun. Another thing I really like about the game is when you got two characters playing each other, they kind of have this thing at the beginning where they'll kind of shit talk each other. It's unique to every character. It's not some default line like, oh, you're gonna get it. It's character specific. So if you're fighting Batman, I mean, not this obviously, but it'd be something to the effect of, I'm gonna put you under like your parents. Okay, if you're fighting the Joker, I'm sending you back to Arkham Asylum or something like that. Not those specifically, they don't actually say those things, but that's just giving you an example of the uniqueness of this game.
4.
Sims 4. I'm a huge fan of The Sims. It's been a lot of years since a new Sims game has come out on PlayStation 4. Continuing, from 3 to 4. It's been a very, very long time. I love The Sims. I love making me. I love making him look like me. I love being able to pick my career path, several different career paths, because obviously I can have different profiles going at the same time, different games going at the same time. You can customize everything in this game. If you haven't played a Sims game, you're missing out. Why not start with Sims 4? It looks great on the current gen consoles. And again, so many customizable options, from windows to lights to clothes to personalities to everything. This is a game that I've definitely been waiting on and looking forward to for a long time, and I'm glad it finally came out.
3.
Resident Evil 7. I'm gonna be honest, I was never a huge fan of the franchise until Resident Evil 4 came out. Once Resident Evil 4 came out, I was hooked. I was hooked on this franchise. I did not like the franchise before that. I don't know what it was. I just couldn't really get into it. Since 4 though, I definitely will go back and I will play some of the older games that have come out, but let's go to Resident Evil 7. Resident Evil 7 definitely brings everything that you would expect into a Resident Evil game. It has several points in the game from the jump where you're kind of jumping like you're watching a movie. It sucks you into the game, if you will. It makes you feel like, when something jumps out on screen, you're jumping in your chair or couch or whatever you're playing in. There's a lot of like, holy shit, kind of what the fuck moments where it makes your kind of heart pound just a little bit. Playing it on VR, that adds another element of crazy to it because it just looks so real, or as real as it can, I guess, considering it's a video game. The stories are great. Everything's incredibly detailed. The sets, if you will, in the beginning you're in a house and there's just all kinds of just nastiness going on, blood and guts and all kinds of crap just kind of hanging out. This game did not disappoint. If you're not a fan of Resident Evil series, try to play this game and not think of it as a Resident Evil game. Like, that's how good it is. You should be able to play this game and not think Resident Evil to yourself, although it is. It's just a really great game. Definitely recommend picking this one up.
2.
Mario Odyssey. Now, I'm not going to say a whole lot about this game. I'm going to definitely go into more detail on this on a separate video. Mario Odyssey, every step of the way, I was just in complete awe. Everything about the game just was mind-blowing. It was one of those things where I had that feeling of playing one of my favorite franchises or favorite games for the first time. There's not been a game, and no game on this list gave me that feeling like this game did. Again, I'll expand more on that. The worlds are unique, the enemies are unique. You see a lot of classic enemies. Transferring from the 3D world onto the 2D side-scrolling world, the way they made that happen and the way they made that work was just amazing. Just again, mind-blowing. I can't not use that term for anything about this game. Just completely mind-blowing and fun. When you beat the game, there's a whole lot left to do. The game's not over once you beat the main storyline. It's open world. You can go where you want to go, do what you want to do. The addition of Cappy and throwing it onto things and being able to control that bad guy is something that's never been done before, or at least I've never seen it. This gave the franchise, in my opinion, a much needed, I don't want to use the word reboot, but a much needed recharge, if you will. I've never been as excited about a game as I was for this one, in the Mario franchise at least. Not since Mario Sunshine. I was so excited about Sunshine because Mario 64 was so good. I haven't been that excited about a game until this one, until I saw a preview, and then I actually played a demo at Best Buy. This game is amazing, and that's why it's number 2 on my list.
Why?
Breath of the Wild, number 1 on my list, hands down, period. Honestly, I think this is Game of the Year. I think it has to be Game of the Year. After the first time I played it, this went to probably my number 2 Zelda game of all time, honestly. I have gone through it twice. And working on a third. This game is just so amazing, and I'm doing things different than I did before. Everything in this game was unique. The fact that everything can be used as a weapon. I know a lot of people complain that the weapons broke too easily, but there is a plethora of weapons out there for you to find. There's no shortage of weapons. Unique enemies. You see a lot of your old classic enemies. I know I said that about Mario Odyssey, but it's the same thing here. Man, the story... The story is good. Your Link cryogenically frozen, for lack of a better term, for 100 years. You got to come back and make Hyrule right again, because everything is just fucked up and you just leave a wake of dead bodies in your path. It's great. It's amazing. I did a 30-minute thoughts video on this game, and I go into way more detail, and I could do the same thing again here, but I'm not going to do that because I don't want this to be a 45-minute video. This game, I gave it 9.75, is damn near perfect. Game of the Year, in my opinion, number 1 on my list for 2017. Everything about this game. One thing I really enjoyed about this game were the elements, the weather elements, and how they affected your gameplay. I liked the fact that you can cook food and try different recipes. This is stuff that's never been done in a Zelda game before. It's just amazing. Again, you have your Gorons, you have your Zoras, you have the classic people that are helping you along the way. Every part of the map is unique and different in some way, and it has its own personality, if you will. From Death Mountain to the Lost Woods to being on high atop of a mountaintop where it's snowing. Like, again, everything is just unique. It has its own personality. And this is something you don't see in video games a lot. I'm very glad that they did what they did with Breath of the Wild. Definitely looking forward to the next installment of Zelda game, and I hope the awesomeness just continues. Alright guys, that's my top 5 games of 2017. I'm sure that there are games on my list that wouldn't have been on yours. I'm sure there's games on my list that are on yours. And I'm sure there's games on your list that weren't on mine. So put your top 5 down below. And if you have any suggestions for a top 5 video, please put it in the comments. If I like it, I'll make a video on it.
Funding for the Game Chasers and the Shady J Show is made possible from our patrons on Patreon. Thank you.